Hello there. So I just would like to share with what I'm trying to do at the present moment in time in helping out improving the situation for HGV drivers and also all the other stuff that I have in the firework to kind of see what I'm doing. So let's start by sharing on that. And then I'm going to listen to this particular gentleman to start off with. Let's go.
HGV driving restrictions are shit. Let me explain. It's 8 o'clock on a Friday night and I've had to stop because I've run out of driving time. I am about 50 minutes away from my yard, so I have to now have my rest period out on the road in a lay-by before I can then drive back to the yard in the morning, that 50 minutes, before my weekly rest can start. Now, do I feel like I could drive back to the yard now? Yeah, no problem. Wouldn't cause me an issue. I'm perfectly fine, perfectly alert, perfectly awake. I've had plenty of break today. I've got enough working time that I could stop for another break if I needed to before making it back to the yard. But no, I've got to do a night out here. And by here, I mean on the side of the A34. It's going to be a little bit noisy. Am I going to be rested? Probably not.
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea, especially for the people that don't drive HGVs and in the computer world for myself, of what these people need to put up with. And it's not good for them, and I don't like it at all. So what can I do? So I basically put a bit of a comment on Ashley's site, and this is a very common sense, sir. I put a comment or two on your channel in reaction to a recent short video he posted, which is that one there. So he's an author. I'm retired. I drove for 15 years from 1990 to 2005, and I did most things. Yes, I'm properly experienced. I have a current Class 1 DQC, TACO, ADR packets, and tanks. That means something to our lorry driving friends, probably doesn't mean an awful lot to anybody who's watching at the computer programming side, but hey ho, that's it there. So I go to Castle Donington, which is basically bang in the middle of the United Kingdom, on a big road that we've got here called the M1. I get there for 5 o'clock at night. So that guy was talking about 8 o'clock at night being run out of hours, he's got the time to get back. So I just sit there waiting for a tramper. So that's exactly what this guy is. He's running out of driving times. And he can sit in the passenger seat for an hour or so, using his working time, but not driving time, because he got 15 hours or so before you kind of got to go there and down there. You can drive back to base, gets into his car, goes home with his missus. That's the end of his working week. He can have his weekend off. So I'm going to sort the rig out, sort the wagon out for the Monday morning, make sure it's fueled up, if it needs to be connected to a trailer, all the stuff that they kind of do. And then if they give me a shunter, which is just another lorry, it's something that's sitting in the corner, and I can put the sleeping bag in there, go to sleep in it, get up on Saturday morning, continue whatever I need to do to help out. And then we got there. So say I want my train fare, maybe it's £100 for the kind of doing it. Let's, sort of let's start off that and see what we can do. So I got a bit of a thumbs up and a like on that. So I put another one and says, so let's see if we can make this happen. So I'm a software developer. I could put together a booking page. I've got the sites, I could do that. And then we could have a list of firms that register a service. Now, I understand that the firms don't want drivers working for them unless they know who the driver is in terms of the license and all that, because you've got to back it up. But hey, oh, that's there. And then the firms that are interested can actually register and give me an instruction, say, by 11 a.m. on Friday to be a specific truck stop. So that kind of gives me the time to get to that truck stop in the thing. I can can this work? And if yes, could we trial it? And then, if possible, could it be extended to a driver network? So that's kind of we've got, I think, a bit of an issue with someone like myself in terms of being an occasional worker. Is this is that the way it works to actually put things onto your driver card, which is the tachograph card. It's just that you need to be sat with a vehicle that is a current working vehicle that's fitted with a tachograph, and sit there beginning the shift and put in the other work that you're doing and the likes. It is entirely practical to do this if you're going from shift to shift or you're having a bit of holiday, whatever, and you're not really doing anything apart from working. But once it starts to get there, you can end up in real difficulty, which I kind of do end up getting in difficulty because I can't sit at the beginning of a shift if I haven't actually done any work on the HGV, say for a week, 2 weeks, and I may have well in excess of 100 entries to put into that particular software, because that's just the way it is. So the way I try and mitigate this is I keep a book, and this is the book that I got in question. So what I'll do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now, so that you get the full book. So this is the book I've got, and it's got entries, and as I put in there through the working week, I have my little system likes. I have a little printout that I do here that indicates that I've been driving a HGV wagon. So basically, it means that if I'm around looking at the book, I can just flick through the thing and find them and go, right, okay, then. And that sort of works. So if I go back to sharing the screen, yeah, so the tachograph information, and I've got, I basically produced these PDF documents at the end of the week from the card reading software that I've got on the machine over there. So I read it, create these documents, and that backs up what you've just seen in the book that I've got. So each entry is backed up to there. Because this is on the G drive, it means that on the phone, I can easily access this. So if I was stopped by enforcement agencies, is that my entire record that I have on HGV on my tachograph is there available, and these files that we've just seen in the other instance, the JSON data is also available and there to be seen, and it's also available and can be accessed through the repository if it comes to having to prove this stuff. All this time here where I haven't been able to put a tachograph card in, and there's a lot of entries. There's a lot of entries in there that make this a little bit difficult. Data to the repository. If you make amendments to the data, that gets recorded on the repository and why you've made the amendments. So there's no way of cheating this in terms of what I've got there. I'm going to try and expand this a little bit. So I backed the stuff up with JSON data. So I've had to modify this a little bit so that we haven't got anything to do with any companies that I may or may not have worked with. But what I do is just have these manual entries to simulate the week. So basically I started here where I was just on the end of my weekly rest period. You can see how other work started working shift, doing some driving, going somewhere in Tipping. So you kind of get the what I've been doing. So this kind of I do it for the wagons and driving that I do that's out of scope. So basically, I do keep meticulous records, and these records are backed up with the repository. So everything I do is recorded, even though you can't easily record that or practically record that on HGV vehicle that is currently fitted with a tachograph that is working, as in it's calibrated. Which is the only way that you currently can record things. What I've done is I've got this little piece of writing here that we'll go back to. So the occasional driver has got difficulties, as I've explained, and not being on the scope with different vehicles and not being able to get hold of a tachograph machine that's in a vehicle that has been calibrated and is currently working, which you cannot do really at any time in my leisure. I certainly haven't got one in this room, and I won't keep one anywhere for just the purpose of doing that. It's totally impractical in my instance. So I keep my logbook, which I've talked about, and I keep the JSON data, which I've talked about. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to write some software to actually make this entry something that people can do. Now, if you later on in the video, I'm going to be talking about the work I do in the blockchain, and there's a blockchain called PulseChain, which I think would be absolutely ideal to store this data, because the idea is every single block is wrote to in a period of time, which is only about 4 or 5 minutes or so, and then the next block is wrote, and you can't overwrite what's on the block. So if we could store this data on the blocks and put encryption together, which the site that I've done, if you go and look at Mr. Gun, you see that I'm actually well in the process of writing some pretty good encryption software. So it could be encrypted, it could be up there, it could be accessible, so it'd be accessible by the driver that's got there by using their card, and it would also be accessible by the Ministry of Transport, that they could use their card and access this, including the new police cars that can go past vehicles and just go Bluetooth, because it can Bluetooth to the card there and get this additional data via just accessing the internet. So I'm sure they've got access to the internet there, to access the blockchain, and they'd access these records. That wouldn't be, you just cannot manipulate it on the blockchain. So a little bit of an example of kind of the things. So say on this Monday morning, you're going to do some Class B work, and you work for 8 hours, and you work in a shop for 8 hours, do a little bit more Class B, and there you are, you record your rest periods. Then you go and work on a Class C vehicle that's got a tachograph fitted. The data that you've got, which is a lot of data to enter at the beginning of the shift, it's impractical to enter that data, and you're back and work in the shop and a bit of cap B work, which doesn't cover the tachographs at all. And then you've got a week of working on Cat C, where you can put the things in. So it becomes practical to do your other entries on that machine for that particular instance. You record a rest period and you're back onto that, so you can record your weekly works, and you're back not doing that that period at all in terms of that. Now, as you can see here, I've deliberately put it in there so that it's a 24-hour rest period here between the shop work and doing the category C. So this system, I believe, would be ideal for such a situation. I know it's education. I know that most drivers don't go there, but if you find yourself in my position, you could end up wanting to access this sort of thing. It's immutable, as I put at the end, and it's a case of writing some software. And I think I'll see how far I can get with it. Started, see if there's any interest in it. You know, there should be interest in this. The Ministry of Transport should be interested in this. It's certainly a solution, and it would work. Okay, at the end of it, I am a member of the Alliance for Freedom and Democracy, of Alliance of Democracy and Freedom, which I always get wrong. We want to do things in terms of getting things sorted out. All common sense stuff. If you're interested, please do feel free to get in touch. We're there to help. I don't know how many people are interested, but you know, politics does matter. I'm going to close that down there. So this is a site that I put together on, basically it's the time dividend. This is how this is working in terms of the crypto that I've got. It is the internet money wallet that I do the workforce. I do testing and do a little bit of programming around that. So that's something I just want to plug a little bit.
Things I would like to emphasize and reiterate: we collect no data. Absolutely zero data is collected when using the Internet Money Wallet. We don't store any user information. Everything is on your local device. It is your keys, your crypto, and you are a true self-sovereign individual. The true ideals of crypto are a reality within the Internet Money Wallet. You are the master of your own destiny. If you have any questions, remember, only go to our official support channels at internetmoney.io. Only get the links to download the wallet from internetmoney.io. Make sure to join our Telegram, follow us on X, and ask any questions you may have. We are constantly growing, constantly building, constantly improving, and we are here for the long run in this crypto game that we believe in. I'm KG. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.
Got my own keys and my own coin. Gotta protect this money. Took too long for me to get it.